Before the introduction of our Imam and the board members, I would like to give you a brief history of our organization. In 2001, our community had a meeting and we decided to have a place of worship in Allen. So we started a musalla in a room behind a gas station on Greenville Avenue. In those tough times, the city was very helpful and we appreciate all the help from Allen Police Department in protecting the Muslim citizen of Allen. In a short time, the community grew so fast that we have to move to the bigger facility in downtown Allen. But the growth didn't stop there, and we have to look for a bigger and permanent facility in Allen. So in 2009, I had a discussion about this to the mayor on the opening of Allen Event Center, if you remember. And your discussion encouraged us to purchase this land. And Alhamdulillah, the city, the Muslim community is very pleased with this location. Now, I would like to introduce our Imam, Imam Arsalan al-Haq. He is our Imam in the masjid, a religious leader, a scholar, and an educator. He has a Bachelor of Science degree in Biochemistry from Texas A&M. He has a bachelor's degree from College of Shira from Al-Azhar University in Cairo, Egypt. Next, our President, Sheikh Maruf. He is our President of Board of Director. He is a UT Arlington graduate. He has done a Master in Electrical Engineering, and he worked as a patent examiner. Now next, all the board members. Mr. Ali Subhani, he's a...
I think they should stand up and
He's
identify
not
themselves.
He's traveling.
He's not here today. Mr. Naimuddin Khaja, VP Operation Excellence, Med SS. He's also our outreach person. Mrs. Zafar Arif, Mr. Mizanur Rahman,
He's not here.
Mr. Afroz Shah. He's the manager sales in Telecom. And last but not least, me, Master of Commerce, businessman.
And the king.
Excellent job.
And the king.
I also like to introduce Sister Kamin. Sister Mona Kareem, Mubina Khan, and Nasima Chaudhry. Al Masjid is not only a religious organization, we also have a community services, and these programs include the faith-based outreach program in which we go and visit different religious organizations and vice versa. They come and visit us too. We have a refugee assistance program, natural disaster relief program, which we recently helped the tornado victim from Rowlett and Garland. According to one estimate, Mayor, we have about 750 Muslim families living in Allen and surrounding area. And this Muslim community of Allen would like to participate with your help and guidance in the community program of Allen on voluntary basis, and we would like your help and guidance on that. Once again, I thank you for coming to our masjid, and I hope this event strengthen our relationship and establish a strong communication between the community leaders and the city. Now I will request our Imam to come and say a few words.
The most gracious, the most merciful, may the peace and blessings of God be with you and upon you. I am the Imam of this mosque. My name is Arsalan Haq. I actually joined the Allen community just about 5 months ago. Resident of Texas, I grew up in College Station, graduated from Texas A&M University, and traveled overseas, studied abroad for a few years, and just moved back to Texas. So very happy to be back in Texas, but I'm new in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So what I would like to just briefly talk to you about before we give the floor to our guests is what is a mosque and what a mosque is supposed to do. the mosque, or as it is known as a masjid, which is the Arabic word for it, a masjid or a mosque is primarily in the Islamic faith considered to be a house of God, which means that this is a place where people come to strengthen their relationship with God. So the primary purpose and role of a mosque is to provide a space for people to connect and devote themselves in prayer, in worship, in contemplation to God and with God. So traditionally, and in the Muslim majority lands especially, that is pretty much the only function that a mosque serves, which is again a place for prayer and for worship. But in the United States, a mosque serves a bigger purpose than just that. That still remains the focus of a mosque and the most important role that a mosque plays, but a mosque has other roles in the United States that it plays as well. And some of those roles include the fact that a mosque is a place of learning. It is a place of learning for both adults as well as children. So in our mosque here, for example, we have regular classes in the Quran, which is the book of God that the Muslims take as the final scripture from God. So learning the Quran for both children as well as for the adults, for men as well as women, in classes in basic teachings of our faith, and other classes as well that we plan to have in the future. We also have tutoring sessions for youth and high schoolers that can come to the mosque and get help in their homework and that sort of thing. A mosque is also a place of bonding for the youth. So we have, for example, in our mosque, we have a couple of youth groups that meet regularly in the mosque. These are high schoolers, again, high school, junior high, college-age kids that come and sit down and discuss issues that they're going through, challenges that they're facing in school. And there are mentors to help them and support them and help them bond with each other as well. So this is a place where the Muslim youth can come together and bond with each other and foster and enhance their brotherhood and sisterhood. A mosque is also a place for community events. So for example, anytime there's a wedding, usually people would come to the mosque and want to get married here. People usually have a wedding feast or wedding party, oftentimes in the mosque as well. And we just had a wedding ceremony done last weekend in this mosque. This is also a place where people come to celebrate the birth of a new child. Whenever there's a new child born in the family, the Islamic custom and tradition is that there's generally some sort of a celebration to celebrate that, and the celebration extends beyond the immediate family and also includes the larger community. So that purpose is served also by the mosque in the United States. And also on solemn occasions, when there's a death in the family, the funeral is generally brought to the mosque, and there's a special prayer that is said, and the entire family and also the larger community attends the funeral, those who can. And then there are condolences that are given to the family members of the deceased. So that also takes place in a mosque. So you can see that the mosque really is a place for the Muslim community to come together and do a lot of these kinds of things. And of course, in addition to what was mentioned in the slide and by Brother Anis about community outreach and interfaith programs, these types of efforts are also led from the mosque. And we have established an interfaith and outreach committee to do those kinds of projects as well. Now, who is an imam? What am I supposed to do? Well, I'm generally supposed to be just invited to people's parties and eat their sweets. But in addition to that, there are a few other less important things that I am supposed to do. The word imam is an Arabic word which literally means a leader. And the imam is called an imam primarily because he leads people in prayer. So we have the congregational prayers 5 times a day in the mosque, and those congregations are led by the imam. That's why he is the leader or the imam. But in addition to leading prayers, the imam's responsibilities also include educating the community. Education has become even more important in the times that we're living in, because a lot of people are very confused about the true teachings of Islam, both Muslims as well as non-Muslims. So the imam plays a very important role in educating the community about the true, peaceful, and comprehensive teachings of the faith. The imam also provides counseling services to the community. Sometimes there are family issues, premarital, postmarital, youth issues that are brought to the imam, and the imam tries to provide counseling services, or if a better expert is needed for the service, then the imam would direct the people to a proper professional counselor or something like that. The imam also advises the board of directors, so the gentlemen and the ladies that were introduced. It is part of my duty also to advise them regularly in their responsibilities. And also, the imam answers questions about Islam. So whether those questions come from the Muslim community or outside of the Muslim community, whether from the media or from other faith communities, the imam is expected and is responsible to answer questions about Islam. And finally, a very important responsibility of the imam is to work with other faith groups to make America better, to make America a multicultural place that promotes peace and solidarity and tolerance and mutual coexistence between the different faith groups. So these are some of the responsibilities that I have on my plate. So I think next meeting we're supposed to get a Superman cape that I'm supposed to wear. That's really
Allen. Also, I came up here as chief in February of 2012. I'm actually new to the Allen area, but not the North Texas area. As the mayor said, I spent a little time in Dallas training for this job up here. But we just, it took us a year because the market's so hot up here, but we relocated from Dallas, my wife and I. And we have been in Allen probably just a little over a year now. So it is a great place, and I really feel fortunate to be part of the Allen team. Not only the city team, but also the community, because this is a great community. I knew probably within a year, started talking to my wife probably within the first 3 to 6 months of being up here. I said, there's something going on in Allen, and we should probably be part of it. So, as I said, the housing market was pretty hot. But I think what is great about Allen is the community, and the community is made up of all the different organizations. And I'm just so impressed with your outreach. Also, I accepted a board position last January, so this is the first year, going into my second year on the board of Allen Community Outreach, and I see you get to the North Texas Food Bank, and I think those outreaches are so important for a number of reasons, not only for helping those that are less fortunate than us, which is what it's all about, but also just getting out and spreading the word and building relationships, because as you build relationships, you break down barriers, people start understanding we've got a lot more in common than we do different. We have a lot of respect for what Chief Rushing did. He was here for 14 years, and in doing my homework and studying where Allen has come from since 2001 and looking at some of the population figures that just keep going up, the department tripled under Chief Rushing. Tripled in size. We've got 126 officers, and we've got 50 civilian support personnel. And you think, well, 50 civilian support personnel, what do you do with that? Well, first of all, we have a dispatch center, which dispatches to fire and police, so that's about 20 civilians. Then we run the animal shelter, that's under the police department. And then we've got public service officers, and we have a holding facility where we actually house prisoners pending transport up to Collin County. So very, very robust department that Chief Rushing had to shepherd through all that that increase. But the other thing that he's done is made a very community conscious police department. And I was very impressed with the quality of individuals, the professionalism of all the men and women that make up the police department. And I can assure you that we're committed to making Allen safe, keeping it a great place to live and work. And I'm especially honored to be here today. This is a wonderful facility, and I'm very glad to be in it and see it and meet everybody. And I look forward to a long and positive relationship, and just thank you all for your friendship.
Our guests, the floor is open. This is our time to interact. Please, if you have a question, if you can just stand up and ask the question.
Yeah, I was just wondering, we have a diverse group of people from all over the world, basically. A good resource. We have doctors, lawyers, and other professionals. What can we do, and maybe from your perspective, both Mayor and Chief, to bring awareness to the community at large? Other initiatives what we have mentioned from the slides, can we do anything else that can provide some input?
I'll finish up.
Well, from the police perspective, I'd like help in building relationships throughout the community. And I know from the national night outs that we've had and visiting parties across the city, I feel like there are some neighborhoods where maybe the police department isn't as well known or understood. So to that extent, I would welcome any opportunities to kind of get out into the communities, or maybe we do that through the mosque with some of the programs. We have a number of programs, and I can talk to the board about it in detail. Youth programs, personal safety programs, things that might be of interest that would have a twofold benefit, that is educating the community, the citizens we serve, but also building the relationships with the police department, because we want to be available. One of the things that has always concerned me over the years in meeting, especially neighborhood groups or something, somebody will come up to me and they'll say, you know, I saw a car in the alley and it was there about 2 or 3 times and it didn't belong there, and I knew it shouldn't be there at 10:30 at night, but I just didn't know. It wasn't an emergency. So see, they say, well, I shouldn't call 911 because it's only an emergency. You said, we didn't know who to call. And so that's what we've worked hard to do, is let you know who to call. And when we get out into community situations, we pass out a lot of different numbers. And we encourage people to call 911 too. If there's a suspicious car in your alley at 10:30, that's enough of an emergency. I have officers that need something to do, so we'll send them out. So I guess if that helps answer your question, we'd just be open to any different ways to integrate into the community.
Fantastic. I guess we can work with the board of directors.
Yes, we can work with the police department and the mayor to see what areas that we can fit in, and then we can help.
Fantastic.
Two-way community.
Two-way communication.
Absolutely.
Ma'am, do you have any other input?
No, basically, I just, whatever you can get involved in, there's, like the chief said, there's multiple different things within the community to get involved in, and in fact, they have what they call a police academy, which is like a citizens academy, which you can go to, and it takes you through a whole process. And it's really good to take, because what it does is it shows you their job, and it helps them, basically explains their job every day in and day out. A traffic stop, basically, and you'll get to do all kinds of things within that. Like you get to go in and actually shoot with a fake gun, and it's all kinds of things. And they do it. It's really a unique process of fingerprinting and things of that nature. And then the fire academy is the same thing. They'll actually take you out and put a fire out and all kinds of stuff. So just get involved in the community in any way you can. I know all your children are involved through the schools. Okay, they're going to get involved. So they're going to take part in band and soccer, football, cricket, whatever, you name it, they're going to be part of it. And so, the kids are not the one, the adults are the ones that, once we get to a certain point, we kind of get stale, we get in our own rut. So that's the things, if you just get involved in the community, and another thing, I don't know if your mosque is involved in, but and it's been the ministerial alliance within the community also is a big thing, and they've been trying to rebuild lately. So and it's all kinds of religions all in one. It's a group, and so that's another way to come about, and also within the community.
We talked to the chief about that last time we visited, the Ministerial Alliance, and then, you know, we'd like to be part of that as well. And I'll bring you up to speed on that. Very well.
And it's been, you know, it's been a rocky road. The Ministerial Alliance has been a rocky
Yeah.
road. I mean, not only, and I'm just gonna say this, not only is it the Baptists don't wanna go in when the Catholics are there, and the Jewish people don't wanna go in when certain other people there, but that's not the point of the Ministerial Alliance. The Ministerial Alliance is to come together and create benevolence for the whole community. And that's the goal. And I think we're getting there. We've got some good people that are working on that now. So it's a growing. So don't, if you feel like it's frustrating, don't get frustrated. Stay there and just work your way through. It's not going to be an easy path. Okay?
And they have a, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
The Ministerial Alliance has a Change the World Day coming up, and I don't have the date in the top of at the front of my head, but it's a day when volunteer groups go out and help individuals in the community, and you might be, you know, building a fence, taking down a fence. You don't have to have the skills. They have people that will run the volunteer. But, you know, maybe landscaping, maybe cleaning somebody's house, you know, or helping them organize, just all kinds of things that individuals need. And Change the World plugs it in to different groups. And even in Allen, we have Live, Love Allen, which does the same things, because our code enforcement officers go out there and they see things that maybe they are code violations, or maybe they're not quite code violations, but they have a complaint from a neighbor. When they find out the cause of it, they find out that it's an elderly person on a fixed income. Maybe it's somebody who's just lost a spouse. They're having some type of a family issue that prohibits them from putting that new roof on. So, you know, there's moss growing on the outside of the roof and the neighbors don't like it. So Live, Love Allen connects with community members. So, you know, maybe that's part of the outreach. So those are other conversations we can have with the board.
I want to first thank you for coming and, you know, your busy schedule, taking the time. It's really an honor to have you both, mashallah. And a suggestion that I have is for maybe a few of us to come and do some kind of like cultural training, if you're open to that, or if there's any question and answer. I think that just having this kind of interaction, maybe breaking barriers, will help a lot to improve the community.
Yeah, and I agree with you. And the best way for that to happen, basically, is anything within the community that the city sponsors, and whatever it could be. It could be as simple as and I'm, you know, like going in the Rudolph Run, you know, or going into, or you know, getting yourself involved and pay attention. Tom Keener over in the library runs a lot of different cultural, ethnic kind of programs constantly. And so that would be another way to contact Tom Keener in the library, and things of that nature. But just, you know, get out, be out in public, and, you know, and that's the best way you can really connect with everybody.
Which library are you talking about? The public library?
On public library. You know, and you know, maybe Tom, you could connect with Tom, and Tom could bring up some programs, for example, and put them in the library at the time. Mm-hmm. And we publicize that on our webpage, whatever's happening at the library all the time.
They're very active, that's great.
Go ahead.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Tariq Yunus, and I am very fortunate and blessed to be on the board of the Good Tea Academy, which is down the street. And many of the parents of Good Tea Academy come very regularly to the Allen Masjid. I believe before coming over here, I was talking to our principal. She reminded me that Sergeant Felty of your esteemed department has been extremely helpful in providing the source of comfort for many of the parents. As you know, with the children, about 165 of them coming every day at the arrival time and dismissal time, we're always looking for an extra sense of protection, if not the actual police presence. And so it has been a very good experience. I want the rest of the community to know. For that, we are very thankful to you. One question that I have for the chief, that typically whenever the incidents like terror shootings or in the California shooting that just happened recently, our parents are on the edge because they suspect the reaction from some crazy lunatic guy in the community. And every time the school has called, we have been told that the Allen police is not aware of any special circumstance that might require an extra precaution. Even though on our request you have sent the patrol cars. So is this something that you extend to the organization like the mosque also? Because in our community, all the way from East Plano to Richardson to Irving and then West Plano, at the mosque there's always a patrol car that's present just to deter anybody from even thinking of doing something crazy.
Are you talking about Plano?
No, I'm talking about here, Allen.
Yes, well, we've asked for extra, we've instructed the officers when possible to have some extra patrol here. Just to give all your members a sense of comfort, but also to watch for anything, especially with the backdrop being the active shooters, you know, the Paris incident, a lot of the things in the news, and some of the information, and I think I shared with you the bulletin on the hate groups that,
Right.
and that's when we started increasing our patrols, was when there were some current concerns across the country about hate groups protesting at mosques. There were no, well, Irving was the closest.
And
Right.
Richardson, actually,
Right.
there were some protests out there.
So we'll take those precautions, but when, I almost said in the normal course of business, and it's sad that you almost think that some of these things are the normal course of business now, but when something happens either domestically or internationally, we have a very robust communications throughout the North Texas Police Chiefs. We have very good communications through the Frisco Joint Terrorism Task Force, and the Collin County Sheriff's Office actually hosts a North Texas Fusion Center, which has a Department of Homeland Security analysts assigned there, and we have very good communications. So when something happens and it's in the news, we, along with every other law enforcement department, are trying to evaluate it and see what type of tie or threat it might have to our local jurisdiction. And then we decide, you know, should we ramp up some extra patrol? Should we put out some advisories, or is there an actual tie through a person or something? So I don't know if that answers the question, but
Thanks.
but we are here to do whatever we can to keep everybody safe and make everybody feel safe.
Have there been any hate crimes in Allen recently?
No, not significant. Again, this is my 4th year here. Since I've been here, there have been 2 incidents, and I think it was kids with chalk and spray paint. Just writing some words on the pavement, things like that we had to go remove.
Now, occasionally within our community, because a lot of people come from third world countries where your voice is not heard, and you do experience some issues. And what's the best way to report it? And for example, you know, a couple of years ago during one of the incidents we had, you know, we had something happen to our home. We considered it insignificant, but should the Allen Police be notified even if we feel it's a small incident, and to what level would the Allen Police be?
I would encourage you anytime to report that to us, because if we don't hear about it, we don't know that it's occurring, and then we can't take appropriate action. And it may be, you know, that's one of 3 incidents or one of 5 incidents, which, you know, makes it of more concern. So I would encourage, again, if you have something like that and you're wondering or thinking, should we call the police? Are the Allen Police interested in this? Call us. We go out we only really make an offense on about 1 out of every 5 to 8 calls we go on, but that's okay, because we go out, we talk to some citizens, we try and resolve their problems, you know, and we're aware of what's going on. It may not rise to a criminal matter, but that's not the issue. If you need us, call us.
Yeah. We appreciate everything you've done for Allen. We love living here.
So did you guys cover Lucas as well? Because I don't see much Allen police in Lucas, so we don't have any
The
police.
county,
Okay.
Collin County covers Lucas.
Okay.
Lucas doesn't have a police
If we
department.
call 911, so, you know, who's gonna come?
If you're in Lucas and you call 911, it will go up to the county and they will dispatch a county
Okay.
sheriff.
It's the sheriff department that handles.
Alright.
I think the last question before we go for the tour and the most important one. So in your discussion, Chief Harry, you talked about you have a holding cell where you keep people before shifting them to the Collin County. So I'm wondering, are there folks in there or is it just an empty cell?
We have about 220 guests a month come through our facility. And we try and give them the best jumpsuits and
I was gonna say,
and
do they have
microwave
vacancies?
sandwiches.
Let's not make it 221 today.
Just wanted
Just a
to,
quick question, you mentioned about the personal safety program, would that bring more awareness as to some of the questions that have been asked, when to call the police or not to call the police? Do you think that would add value for our community to get and get that program, and if we need to arrange something from the masjid platform to make our communities more awareness?
Sure, I think that would help, yes.
I think it'd give you more of a comfort feeling, you know, because you actually work with the public, you know, the police officers, they do the class. And so you get to know them one-on-one.
Actually, what we did was, Mayor, I think, if I'm not mistaken, we had a firm hired to check our security system from the camera's perspective, where are the gray areas, where are the areas that are not covered. They gave some recommendations.
right.
They came over to the property and they went to all over the place and they gave us some recommendations. So that was the property, basically, safety precautions that we have done. But on the personal level, of course, that would be the next step. We wanted to step up to the next step and get that also awareness, especially with all the things that are going on, not only in Allen, overall nationwide. I think that would be, that's why I asked the question about the person.
We talked about that in the past, I think in light of the new open carry, the 06 and 07s that came out, you know, it'd be really a good idea if the Allen Police Department had put some program together to educate the public on their rights and what's good, what's bad, what's ugly. When do you call the cops? What's allowed and what's not allowed under the new laws. And I think we're probably gonna have something like that. I'm expecting an answer from you really on that at this point.
Oh, that would be something that we could do easily, yes.
Excellent, excellent.
Do you have female officers that could train the sisters in self-defense?
Yes,
You do have that, can we arrange for that?
yes.
Okay.
We actually, we have a, it's called RAD, and it's Rape Aggression Defense Training. It's a certified course, it's been around for a long time, it's very carefully crafted. We do have male instructors, but we do have one female officer who is an instructor. So when you ask that, what I was thinking about was I'll talk to that female officer and find out to what extent we could modify that for personal safety and just have her, or maybe get a couple other female officers to help her do something that's more custom tailored. So, yes, we could make that happen.
Okay.
Yes, that would
If
be.
you don't mind, Chief, just email me the information and I'll pass it along. Just wanted to kind of make a comment. When things happen here domestically or internationally, there is no one that is more hurt by these events more than the Muslim community here in the U.S. So that makes us, you know, on the front end, we really want to help eliminate these kind of issues and these kind of atmospheres. Just want to make sure that you understand that, and we are partners on this war on terrorism, whatever that's called today. We appreciate you coming out, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We have